Today on Rappler. Immigration Chief Joel Viado says Harry Roque did not leave the country through formal channels. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. welcomes hundreds of lawmakers in Malacanang for a Christmas fellowship. Authorities believe abducted American YouTuber Elliot Eastman is not alive. French lawmakers pass a no-confidence vote against the Macron-backed prime minister. And an Amnesty International report says Israel reaches the legal threshold for genocide in its war in Gaza.
Naghahanap ka pa rin? Shop na sa Lazada para mas sulit tipid araw-araw.
Immigration Chief Joel Viado says Harry Roque did not leave the country via formal channels. Viado adds, quote, he most probably falsified immigration clearances to be accepted by his destination country. Roque's travel to the UAE was known only when he needed to go to the embassy in Abu Dhabi to swear in his counter-affidavit to a human trafficking complaint. Roque says he went to Abu Dhabi to subscribe to his affidavit, but claims he is no longer there. He also says he is still outside the country. DFA spokesperson Teresita Daza says the Philippine embassy in Abu Dhabi extended consular services to Roque and his wife. The two presented valid passports and appear to have stayed in the UAE legally. By August, the DOJ included him in the Immigration Lookout Bulletin Order, or ILBO, in relation to the Porac, Pampanga scam farm. By September, the House Quad Committee ordered his arrest and detention after he stopped attending hearings. The ILBO and House warrant are not enough to prevent Roque from traveling abroad. To this day, there is still no court-issued warrant for Roque and thus no legal barrier for him to leave the country. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. welcomes hundreds of lawmakers in Malacanang Wednesday night, December 4, for a Christmas fellowship. This comes the same week as two impeachment complaints were filed before the House of Representatives against Vice President Sara Duterte. House insiders say the dinner had been set even before the impeachment began unfolding in the lower chamber. During the dinner, Speaker Martin Romualdez presented his cousin, the President, a manifesto reportedly reading, "At all costs, we will stand united with President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr." It was signed by House party leaders. A House resolution version of the manifesto was passed last week and also presented to the President during Wednesday's dinner. Some congressmen tell Rappler, Duterte's impeachment was not on the agenda during the Christmas dinner. House Quad Committee co-chair Ace Barbers says the dinner was all fellowship and thanking the members for passing the legislative agenda of the BBM admin. The search for abducted American YouTuber Elliot Eastman turns into a recovery effort as investigators say it is increasingly unlikely he's still alive. Eastman was abducted by armed men on October 17 in Barangay Poblacion, Sibuco, Zamboanga del Norte. At the time, police said Eastman was shot in the leg when he resisted, but police now say Eastman was shot multiple times, citing suspect and witness accounts. In November, an arrested suspect admitted to the police that Eastman was dead, claiming his body was abandoned in waters of Zamboanga shortly after the abduction. His body has not been recovered. Eastman's American family has been notified through the U.S. Embassy in Manila. He had been living in Mindanao for 5 months with his Cebuco native wife and was struggling financially. French lawmakers pass a no-confidence vote against the government on Wednesday, December 4. Far-right and left-wing lawmakers joined forces to back a no-confidence motion against Prime Minister Michel Barnier, with a majority 331 votes in support of the motion. This is France's first loss of confidence vote since 1962. This after Barnier used special constitutional powers to adopt part of an unpopular budget without a final parliament vote. The draft budget had sought 60 billion euros, or about $63 billion in savings, in a drive to shrink a gaping deficit. French President Emmanuel Macron ushered in the crisis by calling a snap election in June, which came out with a polarized parliament. France now risks ending the year without a stable government or a 2025 budget. Amnesty International accuses Israel of committing genocide against Palestinians in a report released on Thursday, December 5. The report says it reached the conclusion after months of analyzing incidents and statements of Israeli officials. It adds the legal threshold for the crime has been met based on the 1948 Genocide Convention. United Nations officials say there are no safe areas left in Gaza, with a majority of Gaza's 2.3 million population having been internally displaced. In May, the World Court ordered Israel to stop its ground assault in Gaza, but the World Court has no means to enforce its orders. Israel launched its war in Gaza after Hamas's October 7, 2023 attack, which killed 1,200 people. Gaza's health ministry says the 13-month war has killed more than 44,000 people. And that's today's wrap. I'm Kara Oliver. Thank you for watching. Click the link below for the full story. Follow us on Rappler's YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, and TikTok.